Okay then, I hope the screen is visible. Let us do a small recap. Yesterday we were discussing about the set operators, right? So if you take two sets, one is set A and second one is set B, and let us assume that there are some values in set A and set B. If you perform union operation, it is going to combine two sets by removing the duplicates. The moment you do union on, without removing the duplicates, it is going to combine the two sets. So the intersect is a set which is going to consider only the duplicate value, right? And the minus is the set. For example, if you perform A minus B operation, right? It will not consider the values that are there in the B set. If you do A minus B, it will consider only the values that are in the A set, but not in the B set. If you do B minus A, it will consider all the values that are in the B set, which are not supposed to be in the A set. Okay, that's vice versa. And we have seen some examples on union operator, right? And you use the union operator between two select queries, and the resultant set is going to be in the order of what? The first select query followed by the second select query. Result of first select query followed by the result of second select query, right? And the moment if there are any changes that are happening within the set, okay, the rows are going to get updated in the natural sorting order. So we have seen these things yesterday. I don't think much explanation is required. And you have union null, and when you see union null, it is faster than union, because a union null will not have to remove duplicates, right? And also we have seen about the intersect, and intersect, I know the result contains only the rows that appear in both the queries. Minus we have seen. Right. After that, we have discussed about the in operator. So if you want to ignore using the or operator, right? I mean, to avoid using multiple or operators, you can use only the single in operator. Okay. It returns true when the value is found in the specific column, or else it returns false. These are the examples that we have seen. And you also seen about what? The not in operator, which is just the inverse of in operator, right? And today we will discuss about the between operator. You use this between operator in most of your select queries. So when I say between operator, this operator will be used in most of the select queries. So you need to retrieve the data in a range, in a particular range, between operator. Okay, between operator is what? It is always used to work on a specific range. Is used to work on a specific range. Right? The syntax. So you will be using the where column name. Right? You just take a column, and in that column you will be having number of values. Okay? But you want to retrieve a data within a particular range. So we'll be using what? The between operator. Okay, and remember the range should start from the low value, and so again you will be using an AND operator to define the maximum range as what? The I value. Right? So this between operator will work with the combination of what? With the combination of the AND operator. So you need to specify the low value and the I value, right? The column name that you are giving here. So in this particular column, it is going to retrieve all the data between the low value which you are going to define and the I value. Okay, so you also need to understand the basic rule to implement this between operator. Okay, to implement this between operator, you need to understand some basic rules. Okay, the basic rules. Let us focus on this basic rules first. BASS basic rules. Basic rules. Okay, between. So when I say 10 and 20, okay, I can also say it like, for example, so if I'm using a between operator between 10 and between 20, for example, let us say that I have a column, name of the column. Inside this column, I have the numerical values. Let me take a column name. Okay. Let us say that I have some column names like name of the column as numbers here. Some list of numbers. So inside this column, I have some values like 10, 11, 12, 13, like that. I have values till 20. The moment I use between operator, the data gets extracted. Okay, the data gets extracted on this particular column, and possibly you must be thinking it is going to retrieve data from 11 to 19. So because you are using the between operator between two numbers, which is 10 and 20, right? Most probably you might be thinking the output is going to be 11 to 19, right? Or whether the output is going to be 11 to 19 or whether the output is going to be 10 to 20. Okay. So these are the two possible cases. Either the output should be what, from 11 to 19, or the output should be what, 10 to 20. Which one is the correct case? Which one is the correct case? Okay, the between operator will consider the value of source as well as the destination. It is not going to retrieve data between the source and the destination value. It is not like that. It is going to retrieve the data considering the source value as well as the destination value. You are specifying the between operator. If you are using the between operator between 10 and 20, it means 10 will also be considered. 10 will be also be considered. It is being treated as the source value, and 20 will also be considered. So the output is going to be what? The output is going to be what? When then all the data will be retrieved from 10 to 20. So this is the correct answer. This is the correct answer. Whereas this 10 is the source value. 10 is the source. And 20 is the what? Destination. Destination value. First one, I can say that it returns all the values. It returns all values including the source and the destination values from the given column. From the given. Okay, now the second one is now look here. Now second one, the second basic rule is that you are capable. For example, if you have the column name as number and you have list of numbers, okay, this number can be in any order. Okay, sometimes the number can be like 12, 15. Okay, it can be in the random order. Depends upon the actual data that is placed for each and every row. This number can be in any order. But the moment if you're starting to use the between operator, always remember that The between operator can be applied only on the low, from the low value to the high value. You can say that between operator can be applied from the low value to the high value. For example, if you are using the between operator, BETWEN between operator, right? And you can do this 10 and 20. So all the values between 10 and 20 gets extracted, but you cannot do this. You cannot do what? You cannot do this. 20 and 10. 20 and 10. So high value and low value, you cannot use that. It always should be what? From low value to the high value. You can retrieve the data by using the between operator, and it should be specified in such a way that, okay, and you should define it by using the low value and the high value, not high value and the low value. It's not possible, right? Third possible, third thing that you have to remember is it can be used along with the AND operator. It can be used along with the AND operator. So whenever you are using the between operator, make sure that this between operator is going along with the AND operator. You cannot use this between operator without using the AND operator. So this AND operator and the between operator has to go together. It needs an help, okay? That helping operator is called as what? The AND operator. So you are also using AND here. Knowingly or unknowingly, you are also using AND here. So this between operator cannot go all alone. Okay? These are the three major points that you need to remember before applying the between operator. Now the query, okay? I want to write a query like first query. I want to write a query, okay, to display list of employee details who joined in the year 2020. So I want to generate the list of employee details who joined in the year 2020, right? So when I want to apply this logic by using the between operator, okay, I can use the between operator, and I know that I am supposed to use the AND operator. Both I can use, but in between, what could be the range that I can define? We want to extract the data of the particular employees who are joined exactly in the year 2020. I need to define a range. The range should be like, I need to start from the first day of 2020. This is what? 01 January 2020. This is the first day of 2020, right? Right. And also I need to end the I value with what? The low value is 1st January 2020, and the I value could be what? The I value could be like 31st December 2020, isn't it? 31st December 2020. So this is how the statement has to be designed, so that you get to extract all the employees who have joined in the year 2020, right? No matter the month, no matter the date, okay, you will fetch all the employees who have just joined in the year 2020. Okay? So let us execute this. Let us connect to the our DB, which is what? My DB 7 AM. Okay? My DB 7 AM. Connection has been established successfully. So next we will do what? Select star from employee. Okay, before that, let me set the page size. Set page size equal to 100. Set lines equal to 90. Select star from employees. You get all the employees information. I want to retrieve the data of the employees who are joined exactly in the year 2020. We have another 2020 or another 2020. How I can do that? Select star from employees where you're using the where condition. So inside this where condition, I mean not where. Select start from employee. Now you want to get the details of employee who are joined exactly in the year 2020, right? So you need to use what? You need to select the exact rows here, right? You need to select the exact rows. So I can say that where the column name is higher date. Okay, where higher date between. I'm using the between operator. Between 01 January, okay, 2020 and 31st December 2020. 20. I'm just using 20 here because that is how the year is defined. Okay, this is the typical syntax. I mean, this is a typical command where we will be able to fetch all the employees who has joined between this years. So this is the output I will get. Let me include this. Okay. So this is the query. Okay. The second query is I want to fetch all the employees who has not joined in this year. Who has not joined in what? In the year 2020. So there is another operator called the not between operator. I mean, you can also what? There is the between operator, and like this, there is another operator called the negative operator, which is called as what? The not between operator. So I can use the not between operator. Between operator. Between operator. So the negative command for the between operator. The negative scenario of the between operator. Scenario for the between operator. I can say that the inverse of between operator or the inverse of between operator. So let us go back to the same query and see. For example, if I am trying to fetch the employees who has joined exactly in the year 2020. I want to fetch all the employees who did not join in the year 2020. I do not want to include that. Okay, I will be just using the not between operator. The moment I use not between operator, okay, you will see the list of rows where the employee's joining date is not in the year 2020. Okay, apart from 2020, you will get the remaining things exactly. So it is just the inverse of between operator. There's nothing else. It's just the inverse of between operator. This is all about the between operator. So not only here, you can also use the between operator. You know, for example, if you want to find the employee salary, okay, between you want to find the list of employees whose salary is between so and so range. I can use what? I can use select star from employee where salary between, okay, 30,000 and 70,000. What is the between spelling mistake?
Between.
Yeah. You will get all the employees whose salary is falling between 30,000 and 70,000. We want to do the inverse of it. Okay, just use the same command and include the not operator. Now this time we will list out all the employees whose salary is not falling in between 30,000 and 70,000. So this is the inverse of between. Okay, so these are the operations that you can do. I think you can able to understand it. Now the next thing we need to discuss about is what there is an operator called is-null operator. Is-null. Okay. The behavior of is-null operator is null. Okay. Now let us go back to the table. Okay. Now try to understand this. Let me clear the screen. Select star from employee. Okay, I have list of employees here, and if you see in the commission place, okay, I have wantedly left it as blank or empty. You don't see any value here, right? You don't see any value here, you don't see any value here, you don't see any value here, and you don't see any value, you don't see any value. So what does it really mean? So when the particular column data, when your particular or what we call it as the value is empty, when you're not seeing any value for the particular column, right? For a particular cell, when you're not seeing any data, right? What happens? I want to list out all the employees, okay, whose commission is what? Whose commission is empty or whose commission is null. Right, in Oracle, the empty space, okay, the empty space, or when there is any when the value is not defined, when the value is missing, okay, you call it as what? You call it as null. When you see empty space, you call it as null. When you see this, you call it as what? 1500. When you see this, you call it as 800. When you see this, you call it as 1400. But when you see the absence of value, when you see somewhere the value is missing, or where the absence of value is there, that is called as what? Null value. That empty space is called as what? Null. Right? But if you want to fetch all the employees whose commission is null, okay, usually how I will be doing? Select star from employee where commission equal to null. Okay. Now look at the output of this query. It says no row selected. It says what? No row selected. Okay. Now you see we are not able to fetch the employees whose commission is what? Whose commission is null by using the traditional command. By using the traditional command, it is not working. It's not working. Why it is not working? We'll understand that. Okay. Now see. By using the traditional command, okay, I'm trying to fetch all the records of an employee, okay, whose commission is what? Whose commission is empty. Okay, so it is giving me what? The result as no row selected. No row selected. Why this is not working? Because this is not how you are supposed to fetch the query, how you are supposed to fetch the data by when you want to retrieve the data of the null values. This is not how you are supposed to do this. For example, in see, there is a variable x. If you are assigning a value 10, so in this case the value 10 is assigned to the variable x, right? So by seeing this, I can say that variable should always have a value, right? Variable should always have a value. Okay, but the moment you are trying to do something, like the moment if you are not assigning any value, it means if you're not assigning means there is no equal to operator. If you're assigning, there will be an equal to operator and there will be a value. Some value will be there. If you're not assigning, there will be no equal to operator, which means the value is not assigned. The value is not assigned, it means it is absence of value. Absence of value. So in Oracle SQL, the absence of value will be treated as what? It will be treated as null. Will be treated as null, right? To fetch the records of the absence of value or to fetch the records of null values, you don't use this traditional command, right? When you use the traditional command, definitely that command is not going to work because null is getting treated internally in a different way. When you see an absence, blindly imagine that it is a null. What is a null? Null is what? Absence of value. If value is not getting assigned to the particular variable. Okay, so that is called as null. Then how you can fetch all the records of a particular column whose values are null. Whose values are null. Okay, then you will be using what? You will be using an operator called to fetch all the records. See, a particular considering the particular columns whose value is null. Then you will be using what? You will be using the is null operator. First thing, okay, you will be using the is null operator. The syntax for is null operator is okay, where column name. Okay, in our example, you will be choosing a column name. Okay. Just check in the particular column name if it is null or not. Is null. You will be directly using the is null operator. This is going to ensure that all the records will be retrieved whose value is what? Whose value is null. Okay, so I want to write a query now. For example, I want to write a query to display all the employees whose commission is null. Okay, let us apply the same syntax there. Select star from employees whose means in this case which not where commission is null. Right, where commission is null. When I do commission equal to null, that is not allowed. Commission equal to null, that is not allowed here. This is not allowed. When I do this, you will see no record selected. But instead of to check the null values, you should use a special operator called what? Is null operator. Is null. Just you will be using what? Is null. Now you will see all the records whose commission is null. Now Jane is not getting any commission null. Mike is not getting any commission null. Sarah, David, Dan, they are not getting any commission. So this is the command. Okay, this command is what? This is invalid. This one is invalid. Okay, now we need to understand what is null. We need to understand what is null. So even in Java, you have the concept of null. Okay, that Java null is completely different than the null that you are seeing in the Oracle Plus. Right? So Java null it creates an exception. It throws an exception. But in Oracle SQL, there is no concept of throwing an exception when you use the null, when you work on the null values. I will show you some examples here. Before that, you can say that what is a null? It is an unknown value or an unidentified value or an empty value. It is an, or I can say that absence of value. Absence of value or empty value. Okay. or undefined value, defined value. I can also say that unknown value. The first thing, okay, you cannot define that value, right? You cannot actually define the value. And always remember, this null is definitely not equal to 0. Okay? And also this null is definitely not equal to space. Null means nothing empty. You cannot define it as the value 0, or you cannot define it as the empty space. Null means that particular cell is completely empty. There is an absence of value. For example, in future you will be inserting some records for the particular employee, right? So you have a column names like first name, okay, you have column names like middle name, and you also have the column names like what? The last name, last underscore name, right? So you cannot expect that each and every person is going to have the middle name. So first name will be there and the last name will be there, in all the most of the cases. But when it comes to middle name, okay, there are high chances that everyone won't be having the middle name. In that case, you cannot pass any value in place of middle name, right? So you have to leave the middle name as empty. Let us say that the first name is Mike, okay, and the second name is what? Middle name is what? Middle name is nothing, okay, and the last name is something like Johnson, right? So you are not placing any value in the middle name, right? So it is not like this middle name will not be treated as a space. It will not be treated as a space. It will not be treated as 0. Okay, it will be treated as what? It will be treated as a null value, means an empty value, or I can say that absence of value, or I can say that an unknown value, right? So it is not like, right, this null is not playing a significant role in this particular column. It is also playing a significant role. What is that role? Absence of value, because you may be expecting that there are some candidates, I mean there are some employees who will also be having the middle name. If one employee is not having the middle name, it is not like he cannot play this. You cannot ignore this column for this particular employee. You cannot just ignore this column for this particular employee, because the remaining employees may be having the middle name. For them you have to use, but for a few of them you cannot use this. So when you have a requirement, when you have a situation where you cannot use the particular column for a particular employee, okay, so instead of keeping those employees in a different table, you cannot do that, right? You cannot keep this employee in a different table where the table is going to have only the first name and the last name. It will not make any sense, right? You do this, it will not make any sense. Okay, first name and the last name. So when you have a requirement like, okay, if you have 10 employees and the 5 employees are not having the middle name, so for those employees, can you create a separate table and ensure that their data is getting stored in a different table, and the employees who has a middle name, their data is going to get stored in a different table? It is not like that. You should combine the two things, right? You'd find a way to store all the employee information, even though when they have middle name or when they don't have middle name, right? So which is taking care of that? This null, this empty value is taking care of that. It is not like it is empty. It is representing in the form of null. There is a representation. Okay, then I can say that when we need to identify an empty or null value, then we have a special operator called I can say that we have a special keyword called as is keyword. Okay. Now why we are not able to identify the null value for the column? For example, let us say that where commission equal to null. Why you are not able to achieve extracting the rows whose values are null by using this statement? Because the moment you start using the is assignment operator, it is just like I have said, no. For example, if x equal to 100, okay, when the value is there, it will completely make sense when you use the assignment operator, right? When the value itself is not there, if you don't have a value for the particular x, variable, when you do not have a value, that is, it will not make any sense you use the assignment operator. If you use the assignment operator, definitely you should give a value. Since the value is empty, okay, you cannot use this assignment operator. We are not using this assignment operator, definitely using the equal to, okay, using the equal to next to this column will not make any sense, right? This will not make any sense because this is the absence of value. This absence of value cannot be assigned to the variable again. You cannot use the SQL operator. That's why it's not supporting this particular query. That is why it's not supporting this particular query. Are you able to understand? That's why it's not supporting. Instead of this, you are using what? Instead of using this commission equal to null, you will be using what? You will be using the is null operator. Making sense? Right? Now you see there is another problem that we will face. Okay, this is okay. Now you are able to retrieve the data by using the is null operator. But the problem, one more problem that we will be facing is you cannot perform the arithmetic operations. You cannot do what? You cannot perform the arithmetic operation. You can say that please be informed that we cannot perform the direct arithmetic operations by using the null value. Example, let me show the example. Now let me clear the screen. My simple requirements, that I am going to select all the employees to have it listed out. See, now I want to do something like I want to add the salary and commission, okay, salary part and the commission part, and I want to display the resultant operation of salary part as well as commission part in a new column called total salary. So usually how I can do this, I can do this like select star from employee, or else I can say select employee name, okay, and job salary, okay, salary plus commission. I'm adding the salary column plus commission column, and I'm using the alias name as what? Total salary. From employee, okay, where employee name equal to, let me take Emily. Okay, so this query is what it is going to do. It is going to select employee name. Okay, it is going to select the job of the employee. It is going to select the salary column of the employee, and also you are doing what? You are also performing an arithmetic operation, salary plus commission. Okay, on which particular employee? Okay, on the employee name Emily. So it will extract the record of Emily, right? It will extract the employee name, which is Emily itself. It will extract the job. It will extract the salary, and also it will extract the what? It will perform the arithmetic operation on salary plus commission, salary plus commission, and the resultant value will be displayed in a new table name called as what? Total salary. Okay. From where? From the employee table, where you have the particular employee. You are choosing the particular employee. The moment I do this, definitely will get the output like employee name, Emily, job DS. Okay, so this output is completely fine. Now focus. What I'm trying to say here is, if you do the same thing, okay, now I want to choose the employee. Instead of Emily, I want to choose employee like whose commission is empty. I want to choose the employee name Jane. Okay. What we must be thinking, okay, the salary component is 95,000, but the commission component is here null. It is not empty here. It is empty here and it is also null here. It is not zero here. It's not zero. At the moment I perform this operation, okay, now you see the total salary component. The total salary component is coming as what? Is coming as empty. So we would be expecting that the total salary component should also be 95,000, but it is coming as empty. Okay. How to overcome this? I will explain it. In this example, the total salary component is coming as what? Coming as null. I want to display the total salary component as 95,000 only. 95,000. What happens internally is, when you perform arithmetic operation, for example, this particular example, the salary component is something like 95,000, right? And the commission component is null. When you perform the arithmetic operation on salary component on the particular variable along with the null value, okay, the resultant value is going to be null. Example, if you perform the arithmetic operation like 10 minus null, the resultant value is going to be null. Or if you perform operation like 12 into null, the resultant value is going to be null. When you include null as one of the operands while doing an arithmetic operation, the resultant value is going to be null. When you perform 100 divided by null, the resultant value is going to be null. So this is why the output is displaying as null. Okay, let us look into this in another way. Okay, instead of doing this, I want to do what? I want to add another column. Salary, comma, commission. Okay. Now you see, I have the salary part, I have the commission part. The first employee record, the details of the first required employee is completely valid, right? And look at the details of the second employee. When I try to fetch only the total salary record, it is not giving, again it is giving null value. So there is a data mismatch here. Why it is happening here? You are performing an arithmetic operation, you are using the arithmetic operator, and you are performing what? You are calculating salary plus commission, but the sum of the commission values are what? Found to be null. So when you perform the null operation on that particular variable, on the particular value, in this case 95,000 plus null, again the resultant value is becoming null itself. But I do not want to expect null here. I want to expect what? I am expecting 95,000 here. There is empty value. I should be ignoring that empty value, and the resultant value should be what? The 95,000. So if I take this total salary component, definitely it is not making any sense. Some employee salaries are remain null. It should not be there, right? How to avoid this? How to overcome this? To overcome this, we have a function. Okay. To overcome this above problem, we have a particular function. To overcome the above problem, we have a function called the NVL function. Okay. Now the question is, what is this NVL function? Okay. So it is a predefined function. It stands for null value. NVL stands for what? NVL stands for null value. PL stands for null value. Okay. Is the predefined function in the Oracle database. Okay, and it is going to help us. Okay, it is going to help us to place the user defined value in place of null value. Okay, so there are two arguments. Okay, there are two arguments in NVL function. Two arguments in NVL function. The first argument will accept expression 1, and the second argument will accept what? Expression 2. Okay, if NVL is a function, okay, if NVL is a function, NVL is a function. First there are two arguments, expression 1 and the expression 2. Okay, and this is the syntax. This is syntax. NVL is a function accepts two argument, expression 1 and expression 2. Let us understand this, what is expression 1 and what is expression 2. Okay, so if the expression 1 is null, if expression 1 is null, okay, or else I can say that if the expression 1 is not null, it returns the expression 1. Okay, if expression 1 is null, it returns expression 2. Okay, for example, let us say the salary and let us take the salary and commission example. The moment you you try to extract or you try to deal with the null values, you will be using the salary component in the expression 1. Okay, this expression 1 will be taking the salary information, and in the expression 2 you are going to place the what? User defined value. If you find null, you will say the Oracle database to use the zero value, to use the user defined value which is 0. For example, the not the salary, the commission component, right? So NVL, okay, let us say that the commission component is null. For some cases it is null, isn't it? So for this case it is null. For this case it is null. The moment it finds null, what you will be doing? You will say, you will inform in such a way that the moment if you find the null value in the commission component, replace that null value with 0. Right? So the output is going to be what? It is going to return what? It is going to return 0. For example, the moment the expression 1 is found to be like 1500, 1500, 1500. Okay, so this is going to return 1500. So what I am just saying is, if the expression 1 is null, it will consider the default value which is 0. The expression 1 is not null, it will consider the expression 1 itself. Or else I can say that if the expression 1 is null, expression 2 will be considered. Expression 2 will be considered. Okay. If the expression 1 is not null, then the expression 1 will be considered. Expression 1 itself will be considered. That's it now. This is the function of what? The function of so let us understand this thing programmatically. Before even understanding this, let us try to implement this logic by using the dual table. Okay, there is a table called dual table. I will help you to understand this dual table in the future classes. Okay. Okay. Now see, select NVL. Okay. So if the expression one is something like 100, the default expression 2 is 0 from. Okay, it will return what? It will return the expression 1 itself. The moment if you replace the expression 1, okay, instead of 100, the moment if you place null value, it is going to return 0. So expression 2 will come into picture only if the expression 1 is null, or else, right, to keep executing the expression 1. Okay, the moment if you place 1300 in the expression 1, the expression 1 is not null. If it is not null, it is going to return the same value. If it is null, it is going to return the alternate value, which is 0. So in this case, it is not null, so 100 will be returned. In this case, it is null, so the expression 2 will be returned. In this case, it is 1300, so the 1300 will be returned. Only the moment it finds null value here. For example, let us say that you are placing a null here. Okay, you want to display the alternate value like something like 10,000. Okay. Now it will display the alternate value. If it is finding the null in the expression 1, the alternate value will be displayed. If it is not finding, the same value will be displayed. This is the example. I will tell you what is dual in the future classes. This is just for the testing purpose. Okay, to testing the functionalities, and to it will be used in the merge queries to consider the user defined columns. In the future classes, we will understand this better. For now, this is going to help us to test the functions, test the columns, test the rows. Okay, functions like user defined functions, predefined functions, like that. So how we can implement this practically? So this is how we can implement this practically. Let us take a small query. Okay. Select star from employee. Now I want to perform the same arithmetic operation, but this time I also want to print the total salary of employees whose commission is also null. By using what? By using NVL function. So how I will be achieving this? Select employee number. Okay. I want to select the columns: employee number column, employee name column, job column. Okay. I also want to select the salary column. Okay, and commission column. Okay, and salary plus commission. Okay, now you see, instead of using salary plus commission, I will be using salary plus NVL function. Okay, the first argument of NVL function is going to be commission. The second argument of NVL function is going to be 0. So what this is going to, how this is going to operate? Okay, so instead of commission, you are using NVL function, right? The name of the commission is not null. If the commission value of the commission is not null, for 1500, it will be considering what? 1500. This whole function will return 1500. For null value, then it will return 0 here. The moment it sees the commission as null, now this will return 0. Right? And for this 800, the commission will be, the first expression 1 will be 800. So 800 will be considered, and it will be added upon the salary component. Right? For the null values, 0 will apply, or if the values are not null, the actual commission values will be applied. Right? So as total salary from employee. Any mistake that I made?
E-name, sir.
Okay, E-name, column name is E-name.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now you see total salary is there. So now 95,000 plus, this is not null anymore. Okay, you are, instead of null, you have used the null value function, NVL function. Okay, it is treating this as what? Read 0. Okay, having said this, let me copy this query. Okay, now take this component. Take only the salary component. Okay, now take the salary component of first employee. Okay, the first employee salary component is 75,000, right? So 75,000 plus. Okay, now you are using NVL function. Okay, what is the commission component here in the first employee? The commission component is 1,500, right? Okay, what will happen? NVL commission component is 1,500 comma 0. Okay, now this NVL function, okay, this NVL function will return what? Will return the expression 1 itself, because that expression 1 is not null, right? That value will be returned. Eventually 75,000 will be added along with what? 75,000 will be added the returned value 1,500, and you are getting what? You're getting something like 76,500. 76,000 total salary 76,500. Now let us see this example, the chain 2, this say chain candidate. If you this particular employee is holding a null value, is holding a null value in the commission component, right? So what is happening for this employee? We are using the same formula, salary equal to NVL plus commission comma 0. What is the salary of chain? 95,000. Okay, plus we are using the NVL function. So NVL means NVL. The commission is what? Commission is null comma 0 comma 0. Okay, if the expression 1 is null, okay, this NVL function will return the expression 2. If it is null, it is asking you to consider 0, right? Now 9,500, this is 500, 95,000, so 95,000 plus this complete NVL function will return now 0. If it is encountering null, it is going to return the alternate value. In our case, it is 0. This is a user defined alternate value. The output is going to be what? 95,000. Right? This is how you will handle. Getting this? 95,000, 95,000. Here it is treating 0, 0. Here it is using NVL function and is extracting data from the expression 2. Here it is extracting data from the expression 1. So that is how you will handle NVL, and that's all for the day, guys. If you have any doubts, you can ask me.